and some things just plain make you just feel good in your body today. Get rid of a little bit of stress and get out of our heads and relax and release and letting go. So come to a nice tall seated alignment, whatever that means for you. I like to sit on a little bit of a blanket or a block to elevate my hips so my knees are coming down towards the earth. I'm going to sit up nice and tall and bring the palms of the hands together, rub them together and make that connection with yourself. And then bring your hands together at your heart and lift your heart up into your hands. And we'll begin with the mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. We recite it out loud 3 times, calling on our inner strength and inspire ourselves to do our very best. Inhale and exhale. And inhale deeply to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. The breath and release the hands to the knees. Index fingers and thumbs are touching lightly in Gyan Mudra. Mudra for wisdom and knowledge. Breathing light and long through the nose. All the breathings in through the nose and out through the nose unless otherwise specified. We're going to meditate for just a minute before we begin. So, I'd like you to sit up nice and tall by lifting your sternum, relaxing your diaphragm, softening the belly, and the shoulders come down and away from the ears as the chin comes in slightly, lengthening, elongating the back of the neck. Eyes are closed and gazes up and in between the brow, looking at the mind's eye, the point of intuition. So as you inhale, I'd like you to think the word Sat, and as you exhale, vibrate the word Nam. It means truth name, truth is my identity. You can use your own mantra if you have one that you prefer. If you find that your mind wanders in it, we'll just bring it back to your breath and back to your mantra. Inhale Sat, exhale Nam for just 1 minute. Very good. Go ahead and open your eyes and look up here now. We'll begin with a pranayama. It's a breathing exercise. It's a breath meditation for prayerful balance, bringing balance into our life, releasing stress. If you're trying to quit smoking or lose weight or replace any bad habits that you might have, this is a good one to go to. This works deep on our nervous system. So, and it's just a great way to begin our practice by centering ourselves and bringing our focus more inward. So you're going to have the palms of the hands together, fingerprint to fingerprint, thumbprint to thumbprint. So you're pressing the palms together, which is your heart center, and you're going to overlap the ring finger, overlapping the ring finger. So your hands are basically in a prayer pose, Anjali Mudra, with the ring finger. Ring finger is like the sun, solar power. Okay. And the eyes are 9/10 closed as they sit up nice and tall. And inhale very deeply through the nose. Feel it come all the way in and down and low and slow below the navel center. Breathe as deep as you can. And then you're going to exhale to the count of 4. Sa, ta, na, ma. Mentally thinking the mantra Sa Ta Nama. Inhale deeply as you can. And exhale to the count of 4. Sa Ta Na Ma. And continue on your own, inhaling deep. And exhaling through the nose. Sa Ta Na Ma. And again, the eyes are 9/10 closed, looking down and in towards the tip of the nose. Fully apply yourself to a long, deep breath here. Breath is life, life is breath. Breathe the breath of life. Suffuse every cell of your being with the light, sweet lightness of the breath. Mentally reciting Sa, Ta, Na, Ma as you exhale through the nose. The seed syllable of Satnam, Bij mantra. Means we're planting seeds for something beautiful to bloom later. Begin that process now by directing your full attention to your practice. As you exhale a Sa, Ta, Na, Ma, let it be known that translates to existence, life, death, and rebirth, the circle of life. Lengthen the spine as you inhale. Long, deep breathing lowers blood pressure, reduce stress, conscious effort, conscious breathing. Tiny bit more. Full inhalation. Last round. Go out strong. And inhale and stretch. Shake it out. Release the hands to the knees and meditate, please. Go inside and notice. Very good. Okay, well, it's time to move on to the warm-up portion of our practice. So, let's have our legs out in front of us for just a moment. Bounce the legs up and down. And windshield wiper the feet. All right, so bend the knees and we'll just roll the knees side to side. Good. And 3, 2, and 1. It will come all the way onto all fours. If you need to add extra cushioning underneath your knees, please do so now. Take the time to take really good care of yourself. All right. So tabletop position. Sometimes we do cat-cows from here, but we're going to do what I call a dog leg stretch. So you can extend one leg out behind you, and you're curling the toes under and pressing out through the heel. And just waking up the calves and the feet and the ankles. And we'll switch sides and do the other side. Dog leg stretch. You can lift the opposite arm and be like a pointer if you like. Like a dog. And we'll do that one more time each side, waking up the body. Really stretch and release and come back to all fours. Hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. You're going to inhale and sink the belly down and the head comes up. And then exhale around the back. You can come up onto the fingertips if you like into an angry cat. Waking up our spine and preparing ourselves for what's to come. And coming back down into the cow, the droopy belly, head comes up. And angry cat. And you can go a little faster if you like, alternating between cat and cow, but go slow enough where you notice where you're feeling the stretch and where you need to go. Maybe you need to stretch between the shoulders more or the lower back. You can wiggle and wobble through this from side to side. And then begin moving a little bit faster so the spine becomes like a wave. Continuing to allow the movement to follow the breath. Inhale as you sink the belly down and exhale rounding the back. And last time, coming to a neutral position, we're going to come to stand on our knees and step the left foot forward, place the hands on top of the thigh, and press yourself to come up to standing. All right, so let's wake up our bodies and get some energy and chi flowing. This is good for working on your lymphatic system as well as many other things. We'll be tapping into the meridians, the main pathways of energy and chi that flows in the body. I like to begin by cupping my hand, and I'm going to place this cup on top of my head, and I'm going to tap or cup the top of my head. Not too hard, only as hard as it feels comfortable for you. I like to think of this as bringing energy, thoughts that are whirling and swirling in the head. We're going to bring that down into the body now. So bringing some of that direction into our body. I'm going to take that cupped hand and you're going to tap at the back of the neck, at the base of the skull here. And then you're going to take both of your thumbs on either side of the cervical spine and you just rub up and down either side of the cervical spine, up to where you know where that little divot is at the base of the skull. This helps increase some oxygen to the brain, waking up the brain. Good. Okay. All right, I'm going to take my glasses off for this next one, so you might want to too. I'm going to form what I call little bird beaks that bring all my fingers together and make little bird beaks. Little bird beaks. Okay. We're going to begin tapping on the forehead along the hairline. And down to the temples. And then cheekbones right in the center right below the eyes, right in the center of the eyes. And jawline, along the jawline, center of the chin, and up on your upper lip. Okay, and then you're going to take and make knuckles with your thumbs. I'm going to step a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing here. You're going to take your thumbs and you're going to bring them right where the eyes begin at the root of the nose and trace the brow bone over the top and down the temples. You can use the second knuckle too if that feels better for you. I like my thumb knuckles. And then come below the bone underneath the eye and up to the temples. Call this cat's eyes. If you think about it, just alternate back and forth now between both. It's a spiritual symbol in Christianity. Fish eye. Cat's eyes, fish eyes. Sometimes you see it in the hieroglyphics from Egyptians. Keep going, you're doing great things for yourself. Releasing tension. It's good for the sinuses. All right. Okay, and then bringing your fingertips to your hairline at the center. We're just going to drag and draw the fingertips across the top and down to the temples, pausing at the temples and circling, a little massage at the temples, and then up and over the ears, down along the jawline, tracing all the way to the center of your chin. And then we're going to do what I call pet the kitty. So you're just going to brush that energy off. Good. All right. Okay. So from here, we're going to begin cupping again. And we're going to take your right hand and give yourself a pat on the back. And then also underneath the armpit, which is where we have lymph glands. This helps drain the lymph glands and move energy, stagnant chi. And then coming down the inside of the arm and flip it over and come all the way back up. Working in the stomach meridian, elbow. Just waking things up. And we'll switch sides and pat yourself on the back for being here and taking time for yourself today. And cupping underneath the armpit. And down the center, inside of the arm all the way to the wrists and all the way back up. Some people like to have an open hand on this one or just cupping. Whatever feels right for you, for your body. If you're on blood thinners, be very gentle. We don't want to bruise. Okay. And let's see. Let's make fists, or you can do the little bird beaks. And we're going to go all the way up the sternum and back down. That's my Tarzan call for the day. And then I'm going to bring them over to where the pectoral inserts into my shoulder. And there's lymph glands there that we want to address too. Okay, coming back to the center and then over to the right side. Making sure we get the lymphatic glands draining and moving. Okay, and then come back to center. And then we're going to make karate chops to the kidneys and back. Chi. It's considered the chi belt, the door of life in Taoist yoga. Okay, good. And then fists to that little indentation on either side of your hips here. This is where a lot of our chi flows from the upper body to the lower body. So if you have neuropathy or any kind of thing, some edema where we're not getting circulation in the low legs, that helps open it up. I'm gonna step my feet apart, and I'm gonna bend my knees and tap at my hip creases. This is another place where lymph glands are also located, right in the groin. Good. All right, and I'm gonna come down the left leg, cupping all the way down to your feet, all the way back up. We'll do that a couple more times. And we'll switch sides and do the other side. All right, and both knees. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My knees are bent while I'm doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On both sides of the knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Both knees. And both sides of the opposite knee. Good. And slowly come to standing. And gently give yourself a little love and light from that energy that you're feeling in your hands, that golden white light, to trace the path of illumination. So it's across from the left to the right at the bottom, up the right side, and then across to the left, and coming slowly down the left side. It's just the natural path of energy. Prana and Apana, two of the main vayus. Vayu means wind. Prana comes in on the breath, comes in above. It's the upper part of the body. And Apana is the lower part of the body. Everything below the navel center. Process of elimination. And then we're going to step both feet together. So the big toes are touching. Palms alongside the outside of your legs, and this is called bamboo in the wind. If you can close your eyes and feel the energy move you, you don't have to move it, it will move you. A bit like a pendulum. Bamboo in the wind. Okay, so one more activity. Let's inhale, bring the arms up, look up, and exhale and bring that energy back down, 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 down. One more time. Bringing the energy up, look up, and exhale, and bring it down, down, down. And step the legs wide. We'll do a few kidney swings here. Warm up the low back. My knees are bending. And sometimes I even come up on the ball of my foot. So we don't want to torque our knees. We want to let the body move freely here. And the arms are like empty sleeves in a shirt. And again, unless you're on blood thinners, you can really give yourself a nice brisk massage this way. Feels good. And then slowly unwind. And just naturally coming to a still point, maybe closing your eyes and visualizing their fingertips tracing ripples on the surface of a still pond. And then again, coming back to bamboo in the wind, to your still point. Close your eyes. Relax. Okay. So you're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. Look up and exhale, bringing that energy down, heaven down to earth. And then we're going to bring our arms into I Dream of Jeannie. And inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, you're gonna stick your glutes towards the back wall. Yeah, coming forward. Knees are bending. And inhale, coming back up. I'll turn so you can see what we're doing here. Inhale up, and then bend the knees and stick the glutes out like you're gonna sit in a chair. And coming back up. Inhale as you come up, and exhale coming down. This time you're gonna bend the knees and release the arms and give yourself a hug. If you can hold on to opposite elbows or forearms, give yourself a hug here. And then inhale, head comes down, hips come up. Straighten the knees. Inhale, bend the knees, exhale, straighten the knees. One more time. Inhale, bending, exhale, straightening the knees. Lift the head, hands come to the hips, and slowly lift the torso up. Okay, so we're going to step the feet wide this time. And again, arms come out and up, bringing heaven down to earth. Sticking your glutes towards the back wall. I dream of genie pose again. And we're just going to swing from side to side. And don't forget to move your hips from side to side too. So it's not just upper body movement. Allow yourself to relax here. It's called dangling. And then lift the head and inhale, slowly coming up. Release the arms to the side. Take a moment in time. If you're not already standing at the front of your mat, please come stand at the front of your mat. I'm just going to simply turn to the side so you can see what we're doing now. And from here, I'm going to have my hands on my hips. Okay. And I'm going to step my right foot back and come into a low lunge. So I'm at a right angle here. This front knee is right over the heel. The back toes, tops can be down or toes curled under. Gonna inhale and sweep the arms up, look up. And exhale, open the arms into a goalpost position. And exhale, hands come to the top of the thighs. Inhale, lift your chest, exhale, tailbone relaxes and releases down towards the earth. Opening up the front of the thigh here, your psoas. Take some deep, full breaths. As you inhale, we're going to switch sides. And exhale, step the right foot forward. And again, that knee is right over the heel. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. Exhale, comes down into goalpost position. Take a moment in time. Maybe scooch and walk those toes out further if you need to. Exhale, hands come to the top of the thigh. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, tailbone comes down long. Long, deep breathing. Then inhale, come standing on both knees. And we'll step the left foot forward again. Okay. Inhale, lifting the arms up, look up. Exhale, arms come out to the side. Going to come into green dragon. Inhale, open the chest, exhale. Cross the arms on top of the thigh. Now that front heel is going to stay down, and you're going to just begin to increase some of the weight by leaning your torso on top of that thigh, and you can drag or draw that back leg with you. This is Green Dragon, and the knee may go over the front toes. But it's important to try to keep your heel down. If the heel comes up, then you need to ease off a little bit. You're going too far. So don't go further than what you should here. The key is to opening up the calves and the ankles and the feet in Green Dragon. Take another nice deep breath here. Inhale and then exhale. We're going to switch sides and do the other side. Good. Scooch those toes out. All right. We start with the knee right over the heel. The heel stays planted. Inhale, lift the arms up. Open the chest. Exhale, cross the arms. This is Green Dragon. Wood element. Bendy. Snappy, like a green sapling. And you can even put the fingertips on the floor for support in Green Dragon. All right, and coming back to center. We'll switch sides again. I'm going to step that right foot forward. I'm going to turn my torso and swing my leg behind me. We're coming into a variation of gate post. So this knee is right over the heel to begin with. I'm going to just keep my hands on my hips. Just begin opening the inner thigh here by pulsing. Only, and don't go too far, just until you feel a little bit of an opening. Good. So from here, you can have your hands on your shoulders or the fingertips alongside your ear. And inhale, exhale as you twist at the waist and look over that knee. Inhale as you pass through center and exhale and lean to the opposite side. Good. Inhale as you pass through the center, twist at the waist and exhale, looking over those toes. Let's do 3 more. And coming back to center, release the hands to the hips, and we'll switch sides and do the other side. Step the right foot out, or the opposite foot, and just begin pulsing. Saying hello, I'm waking up these muscles I might not have stretched or strengthened yet today, or maybe in a long time. Sometimes we do things that are not done in a typical yoga class. Maybe they're not in part of your practice every day. So I invite you to go slowly and only do as much as you feel is appropriate for you today. Inhale, twist at the waist, exhale, fold forward. Inhale up and exhale and lean to the side. Good. And continue on at your own pace. Inhaling as you cross to the center and exhaling as you lean. We'll do 3 more. Make this your last one. And coming back to center, slowly release the hands to the hips and standing on both knees. And again, take the time to put a blanket underneath your knees if you're not on a carpeted surface that will support the knees, or a pillow. Okay, so we're going to start where we did the first time, but this time I'm going to turn my toes to face towards the front and extend the leg out. And think about aligning my hips straight down to the knee, that I'm standing on this knee. So it's not gonna be over here or anywhere out here. You really wanna be erect with the spine and keep the hip right over the knee. Okay. So this is gate pose. So we're gonna open the gate a little bit by placing your left hand on the outside of the leg. Try not to put any pressure to the outside of that knee joint. You're pressing out through the outside edge of that foot for balance. The back toes can be curled under or the top of the foot down. And inhale nice and tall. And exhale and lean to the side. See what that feels like as you open up the side body and inhaling back to center. If you want to take it up a notch, you can extend this arm overhead and reach, and then pull back. Exhale, relax. Maybe looking underneath that armpit. We'll do 2 more here. And last one, we're gonna hold it for a little bit. Maybe looking down, maybe looking up, adjust your head to accommodate your neck. Maybe the chin comes in slightly. And inhaling, coming back up. Okay, so I'm going to take this left hand, same as the outstretched leg. I'm going to bend the elbow until the back of my hand is towards the back of my body, right in the center of my spine. I'm going to inhale and sweep this arm up, and my gaze is going to follow my fingertips across the sky for a gentle back bend here. Breathing, breathing, breathing. 1, 2, and 3, and slowly lower it down and release and bring both knees back together. Okay, so we'll do the other side. So take time to realign. Make sure your hips are facing forward and they're not twisted. Okay, and that hip is right over that knee. You're fully supported. I'm a little teapot handle right here. Here's my spout. Inhale nice and tall. Exhale and lean to the side. And sliding back up. Maybe this time you want to extend the arm or not. It's up to you. I don't know how your shoulders feel today. Honor those parts of your body that need a little more TLC. Good. 2 more. And last one, we're just going to hold it here. Again, make the neck comfortable. Look down, look up, chin in. Breathe. Open that side body. Reach. Good. And coming back up to center. Both hands on the hips. And let's have this right arm out, palm facing towards the back wall. Bend that elbow until the back of the hand comes to the center of the spine, right in the low back. Inhale, sweep this left arm up. Gaze follows the fingertips as you trace the ceiling and look up. Just a gentle back bend here. Breathing, breathing, breathing. One more nice deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Coming back to center. Very good. Both hands on your hips and come back to standing on both knees. Okay, so just a little bit more here. I'm going to extend this left leg out again into gate pose. Make sure I'm balanced with this hip over my knee and both of my hips are facing forward. I'm going to bring arms out to the side. Good. Inhale nice and tall, and exhale, we're just going to do like a windmill, bringing that hand down and one arm up. So you got a nice straight line between the hands and the shoulders, and lifting that leg up. Really opening up our gate. So hold this for 3, 2, 1, and I'm going to pivot around and come to both knees. Plant my hands underneath my shoulders with my fingers spread wide. Extend the legs out behind me, press out through the heels, and come into your plank pose. So press out through the heels. Try not to let the hips come up or the hips sag down. Either one is not good for the spine. And we're going to hold this for just a couple minutes as you breathe for 5, breathing 4, breathing 3, breathing 2, and last 1. So we're going to come back onto both knees, come back up to center, turn yourself around, and we'll do the other side. So extend the right leg out. Both arms come out to the side. And open the gate. Good. Take your time going there, feeling into it. Good. Spread the fingers wide for support. And lift the leg up when you're ready or not. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1, and pivoting around to both knees. I'm going to come into our plank pose. So you're going to extend the legs out behind you, press out through the heels. Try to keep the shoulders over the wrists with the fingers spread wide. Your gaze is just slightly out in front of your mat. And you're breathing for 5, 4. This is so good for bone strength. 3, 2, and last 1. And slowly lower the knees down. Good. And kind of sinking your hips back. Let's come into child's pose. So we're going to spread the knees wide. Reach the arms out in front of you. Forehead on the mat. And palms of the hands are together. If your forehead doesn't reach the mat, you can place a blanket or a block underneath for some support. It's called Guru Pranam, actually, when it's done in this way. According to yogic lore, aspiring students would show up at ashrams wanting to receive teachings from the master. And the master might just give them this one pose and just leave them there all day. And then the student would go home at the end of the day, and he'd come back the next day, and this would be the only posture that the teacher would give. So it was a way of teaching surrender to what is, and also a test to see if the student was serious. And then go ahead and slowly press yourself up. I'm going to come to a seated position with the legs wide. Your legs nice and wide here. All right. So this is called dragonfly, especially in the yin tradition. It comes from Taoist yoga, martial arts. Arms are out to the side, palms facing towards the back wall. Bend the elbows until the back of the hands come to the back of the body, wherever it's comfortable for you to reach at below the back ribs or right at the base of the ribs. Okay, palms are facing out. And we're just going to kind of swivel at the waist, and twisting back and forth. Good. And then maybe just relaxing and releasing. If you want to bring the hands here for support, you could do a resting genie pose with the hands and open up the meridians in the fingers and the wrists. This is another way. You can use a block. Use fists. Just relax for a moment before we go on. At first, in the beginning, you might be up here. I'm just working with it right here. Good. All right. And then slowly press yourself back up. Legs come together. Bend the knees. Make fists and place the fists at your temple. This is a seated dragonfly. Open the knees, elbows come together. And then spread the legs wide again. And this time, Bringing those dragonfly wings behind you. We're going to just rock side to side. Maybe touching the elbow to the mat or going in that general direction. Good. And coming back to center. If you want to press the heels away or even lift flesh away from the back of the body, this is another way that I learned to deepen my dragonfly. So we're going to inhale, hold the breath, and then flap your wings as you exhale. Inhale, hold it, flap, and continue on your own. Inhale, and flap. And again, in the beginning, you're just going to be playing with it a little bit from side to side and maybe up and down. Good. And let's bring the dragonfly legs straight out in front of you. Bend the knees, fists to the temples, and we'll do a seated dragonfly again. Good. And extend both legs out in front of you. And flap your wings. Or fly around. Good. And bend the knees. Extend the legs. Good. And come into one more relaxed forward fold. So, bring the knees together and we're just going to shift them side to side. Good. And there's 3, 2, and 1. And you extend those legs out behind you. I'm going to come into a dragonfly on our belly. So the legs are straight out behind you. You're going to have your dragonfly wings again. And fly like a dragonfly. Now the ankles crossed and lift the legs up off the floor a bit. Bring the arms out and circle the arms. Good. And go the other way around. Good. And flying like a dragonfly. Change the cross of the ankles. Continue flying with your dragonfly. Inhale, then as you exhale, I'm going to come into snake pose. Palms of the hands together. Resting in snake pose. Tops of the toes are down. Take some deep breaths in snake pose. Bring the palms of the hands back by your shoulders. You're going to press yourself up. Sink your hips back into child's pose. Stretch. And then we're going to come right back down onto our belly into a Sphinx pose. So this is Sphinx. So you can see my hands. So these are my Sphinx fingers or hands or paws or claws. Okay. All right, it's a gentle back bend. So we're going to slide our left knee so it comes out, straight out from the hip at a right angle. Good. And we'll switch sides and do the other side. Give yourself a moment to feel into this so that you feel your pubic bones settling down and both hips settling down towards the earth. This is Sphinx pose. Good. You can press the arms down and drag or draw them back towards your body as you press your heart through the plane of your shoulders. Sphinx. And we'll switch sides. Okay. So you're going to take the same hand as that bent knee, and we're going to press ourselves up enough to thread that arm through. You're gonna walk that right hand forward. This is like a crawling sphinx or lion, crouching lion or stretching lion series. And just let your weight come forward. The shoulders right underneath the neck and at the top of the chest. You might feel a deep stretch in your shoulder here. And then coming back to center, I'm going to take this right hand, reach through, take a hold of that left knee that's bent. You're going to sweep this left arm up and over. You're going to bend that right knee, taking a hold of the right foot with the left hand, allow your torso to roll open. Taking a gentle twist here. If you're into your twist already, you can take that right foot and press it into the left hand and deepen the stretch. Or not. It's a twisted cat. Tying a knot in the cat's tail. And then slowly unwinding and rolling back to center. And we'll switch sides and do the other side. So the right knee comes straight out from the left hip. And the right arm threads under. I'm going to walk the left fingertips out and just relax and release here. And slowly unwinding. Take that left hand, taking a hold of the right knee, holding on to the right knee. This right arm sweeps up and over. As you open your chest towards the sky, bend the left knee. The right hand takes a hold of the left foot. And continue unfolding and opening. And press that left foot into the right hand. Breathe deep. And slowly unwinding and coming back to center. Grab my block here. So, let's have both arms out into a T. They don't have to be exact or precise. Your shoulders are going to tell you where they need to be. Bring your right palm underneath the right shoulder and begin pressing down through the right palm so that your torso or your body rolls like a log in the water. You'll know when you meet resistance and where you need to stay. So you might not come all the way up onto your side, or you might. Okay. From here, if you want to deepen the stretch, sometimes I like to put a block under my head so I don't have to hold my head up. I continue by bending that right knee and then bending the left knee. Okay, so now my belly's facing towards the sky. I'm going to take that top arm, my right hand, and sweep it back behind me and clasp the hands together, deepening the stretch. This is extreme end of it. This is maybe not for everybody's shoulders today. I don't know who's had shoulder injuries, but you may not want to go that far. But this would be the deeper edge of this stretch. Take another deep breath here, inhale, and then exhale and slowly unwind. For me, it feels great. It's opening up my pectorals. And again, you don't have to have the arms straight out the sides. They can be slightly forward or slightly back. Your anatomy is going to tell you what feels best. Left palm underneath the left shoulder. Begin pressing down to that left palm so you can roll to your side. And again, I'm going to have a little bit of a block for my head. And maybe the knees bent. And maybe just sweep the arms behind you. Or maybe both knees bent. It's up to you. Explore and experiment with this one. Some of my favorite deep stretches for the upper body. We pay a lot of attention to the lower body, and unfortunately we do not dive or dig deep enough into the upper body. And then slowly unwind. I'll set that lock aside for just a moment. Coming back to center, I'm going to bring both palms underneath my shoulders. My legs are coming straight out from my hips. Gather the elbows in alongside the rib cage. Wiggle like a little snake coming forward and press yourself up into your cobra. It might be just here, here, here. You don't have to straighten the arms if you don't want to. Okay. And maybe looking up. I like to curl my toes under and kind of give myself a little push forward. So I get a little more length through the spine and look up. So I'm stretching all the way from my pubic bone all the way up to my sternum and across the front of my chin. And maybe looking right and maybe looking left. Good. And I'm going to bend my knees, sink my hips back, child's pose stretch. Good. Coming back onto all fours, I'm going to take this left knee forward. I'm going to come into my pigeon pose. So this is a front view of the pigeon pose. Okay, I'm up on my fingertips because I like to build strength and keep my knuckles open, all my joints open for energy to flow. Build strength. I'll be able to open up jars with unassisted superhuman yogi powers. Cities, gifts of grace. Good. And maybe lengthen a bit here. Okay. So I'll show the other one turning to the side, but I wanted to show this one from the front because I'm going to do something a little different. Never force yourself to parallel the shin to the front of your mat. I was asked to do that a lot when I was young and probably wasn't doing any favor to my hips or my knees. So it's easier if the heel's in towards the groin, okay? And then in degrees you learn to bring that out and then to bring yourself square and forward and upright. But this is a little different stretch and a little different spot. If you want and you feel really good here or you want to release into a swan, sleeping swan, go ahead and do that now. But if you'd like to try something different and new, and if it's available to you depending on your knees, I'm going to swing my heel back so I'm sitting on my heel. And again, I will show this from the other side as well. And then from here, I'm going to reach across. Yeah. And this is going to open me up all the way from my hip up to my armpit and beyond. I don't have a name for this posture, it just feels good. I'll turn so you can see what I'm doing now from this side. So I'm actually sitting on my heel, back toes curled under so I can press out through that back leg, and then I release the top of the toes down. And then I walk out towards the knee at an angle and reach. Okay, and coming back to center, I'm going to switch sides. Just simply come back to all fours. Keep it simple, and we'll extend the left leg back and bring the right leg forward. And this time I'll do it to the side so you can see. Take the time you need to align. Okay, so I'm not schlumping towards this hip. My hip might even come up a bit. If it feels more appropriate for you, you can even put a block or a blanket for support under here, rather than letting the joint just hang out. And again, the adjustment is to have the foot further forward or closer into the groin. And breathe. And then if you want to come into sleeping swan, come into sleeping swan, relax your torso over the top. Or you can do the other version of sitting on your heel and reaching across. Take another nice deep breath here. Inhale, exhale. And slowly walking it back to center. I'm going to come back onto all fours. I'm going to roll through my feet and come into a squatting frog. Okay. And use my hands for support behind me and slowly lower myself down. I'm going to come into a cross-legged frog. For some of us, that just means crossing one leg over the other and slowly bringing that foot back towards the body and try to align one knee on top of the other. If you can cross both feet back, it's like you're tying some people call it shoelace, tying the shoelaces here. I like to think of it more as a water frog, that I'm floating in the water. Helps open up the outside of my hips. Good. In fact, I'm just going to flow and wiggle my butt from side to side, so I'm like settling in. Allow things to move, fall apart so they can fall together. Good. And sometimes you might lean to the side and look up. And we're just going to switch sides by rocking from one side to the other. Switch the cross of the legs. Good. And again, like you're in water, you're just floating from side to side. Good. Use your frog hands. So this is a good one to sit in for long periods of time. If you've got some things to read or something else to focus on as you allow your hips to open. Okay, so you can do that like 3 or 4 or 5 times on each side, but today we're going to move on. And so we are going to come into what's called deer pose. So I'm going to lean to the side with my frog. I'm going to extend the leg out and bring it around, and I'm going to bend it. And I'll turn so you can see. This is deer pose. If you've never done deer pose with me before, the top of my toes are down. Don't force it though. If your feet don't go there, then maybe the feet are out to the side. But if you can have the top of the toes down, okay, the sole of the right foot is towards the inside of the left thigh. This is deer pose. Here's your deer antlers. Okay. So this is a good one to sit with as well as move with. In the beginning, when you switch sides, it may be easier for you to just use your hands for support and lean back and just step one foot up and bring the other one around and use this hand to move the foot here, okay? And that way we've changed sides on the deer pose. The way the flow goes with deer, so in other words, instead of stillness, we have some movement here. We just move with the breath. But in the beginning, until your body begins reconnecting neural pathways in the brain, telling it, hey, this is what we're going to do, it takes a while, sometimes many repetitions for your brain to accept what it is your body's asking you to do. So practice that one until you feel more comfortable with it. So you can even go like this, just with the hands on the knees. Go like this. All right. So I brought this block out here for a reason. So from deer pose, I'm going to extend my right leg forward. I'm going to turn at an angle so you can see. Try not to kick Mr. Yoga Frog over. All right. So sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, this foot is flexed and the toes are coming back towards you. Bring your head towards your toes, and your gaze, your drishti is at your toes or beyond. So at first, you might just be here, 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 and here. And in time, you may even be able to take those toes and bend them back towards you. But if it's available to you, I like to use a block. There's several sides to a block. Take some deep breaths here, really breathe into it. And maybe change the side of the block so you can go deeper now. One more nice deep breath. Really let go. And slowly walk it up. And you will switch sides just by extending one leg straight out in front and bring that other leg forward and back. Sit up nice and tall. Foot is flexed. You want to only go as far as until you meet some resistance and still maintain the integrity of the spine. So in other words, you're not going to get there any faster by rounding the back and bringing the head forward, although that's the perfectly valid posture or pose. But what we're trying to do is create some more length in the back of the hamstring and its attachment, and the gluteus medius. So we're going to keep our chin and our heart lifted as we look out and beyond. Maybe use a block. Take some deep breaths. And slowly walking it back up. All right. So I'm going to have both of my knees bent. And I'm going to roll the knees from side to side. There's 3, 2, 1. I'm coming on to all fours. I'm just going to walk it around like a bear, connecting to the earth beneath me, wiggling around, wiggly bear. And I come up to standing on my knees again. You want to have the knees fairly wide. I'll try to see if I can show you from the front and the side on this one. And sit on your heels with the toes curled under. I'm going to hold on to the Achilles tendon on either side of my foot. And I'm going to inhale and lift my hips and press my hips forward and lift my chest up, and finally the head comes back. This is a camel pose. If the neck is uncomfortable, just keep the face facing forward. Knees are fairly wide here. We're compressing the spine, but we're getting a nice stretch across everything on the front of the body here, from the quadriceps all the way up. And then slowly come back up. And lower yourself back down. I'm going to come to sit between your heels in genie pose. Here's genie. You can have genie arms, or you could use the smoke element to slowly lower yourself back. In the beginning, you may want to just do one leg extended and one knee bent at a time. If you are all the way down, then squeeze your glutes and lift your hips up to get a little extra stretch. Most of us are going to be right here in the beginning, and or use a bolster underneath you. And then to bring it up, you open the eyes, lift the head up, looking where you're going to go. Inhale and exhale. Bring yourself back up with that smoke. And the arms come into I Dream of Genie. Coming forward, turn so I can face you. And then I'm going to extend my legs straight out behind me. Resting Genie. And from here, I'm going to roll on to your back body. This is called the 5-element posture. Palms facing down, connecting with the earth beneath. Legs wide like a starfish. And as you breathe and relax, feel yourself melting and merging with the earth element beneath you. Systematically go through your body, take inventory, and allow every part of you to relax and let go. See where you're holding tension and let go. you'd like a longer relaxation period, you can shut your YouTube video off and continue to relax. Or you can follow me in class. We'll bring the legs together. I'm going to draw the left knee in towards the chest and give yourself a hug. And release that leg down, and then draw the right knee in towards the chest. And give it a hug. Both knees in towards the chest, holding on to the knees, gently rocking the hips side to side. Maybe tracing a circle on the circumference of your sacrum, on the edge of your sacral bone, balancing. And go the other way around. And gather your knees in towards your chest and lift your head up. I'm going to gently roll to your left side. And press yourself up into a nice tall seated posture. And bring the palms of the hands together at your heart and lift your heart up into your hands. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. In with a long sat and a brief nom. Inhale deeply to begin. So